Welcome everyone, it's great to have you here. Welcome to this video. Today there's another little update here on the SYLSTAR Pressure Sprayer, or rather foam sprayer. I've already shown you in the video that this part works well as a foam sprayer. I'm going to experiment with it a bit more. There have also been a few suggestions from you on how to modify this whole thing. There will be an extra video. Today I want to talk about pressure sprayers again because I already showed you a little bit in the first video that it works. And it actually works really, really well. And it's super convenient because you don't have to constantly pump up the pressure. You just press the button here, bang, or the lever. And just like that, we can easily distribute our pre-cleaner, wheel cleaner, water, or whatever right on the surface. And I want to try out which liquids work with this nozzle here at the front. Sure, the device costs around, let's say, 40 euros. You can also find it on Amazon. I've added the links for you, including one with a white pressure container. I think the battery capacities are a bit different there. Take another look at the details, but from what I can tell, the head and the sprayer are all completely the same. That's why I've attached it for you below. We're going to test it again today with water, just briefly, because we already know that it sprays well. But I've brought along a few products that are a bit different. For example, wheel cleaner or insect remover, which are a bit more gel-like. And let's see if it still sprays well. And whether we also have a nice low consumption and can work quickly and effectively, because I think the topic of pressure sprayers is at least as interesting as the topic of foam sprayers. Foam sprayer. And that's why it's 2-in-1 with this thing. Let's take a look. Have fun. And you can see here, it really holds a lot. So then we can go ahead and turn on the pump here. And then it should actually start spraying right away because we have a lot of liquid in here now. So you could start spraying right away. Just wait a few seconds and you'll see here, bam, it's already done because we have very little space. And already, let's get started. And now we're going to spray a bit here. Let's see. First of all, how does it work with water? And that applies to all products, of course. Now, independent of water, which are very, very liquid. So in terms of viscosity, they are far from being gel-like. So I've completely closed the nozzle head here at the front. And there you have a very, very fine spray. If you turn here at the front, you have a larger products. So with water, it's absolutely fine and you can actually do it in no time. Spray your vehicle with everything you need, pre-cleaner and so on. Now let's test the whole thing with insect remover. And for that, I've brought the bucking mower from FX Protect. And I definitely want to give you the tip that in general, with all chemicals, whether it's a pH neutral cleaner, a slightly acidic one, or an alkaline cleaner, you can use it in here. Definitely use it. It's important that you flush this line, the system, afterwards. And there are two reasons for that. Once, of course, the pH value can over time also attack the seal here. But that only works if you store it in here permanently and just use the part 2-3 months. So this doesn't happen within 24 hours, but with all cleaners, I would always recommend at least flushing the head with water every 2 to 3 days. And here in front, second reason, the products are, sometimes they can be gel-like or have a consistency or formulation that causes them to dry a bit in the spray basket and leave a sort of gel behind. And also with the spray heads here, you can see that you have to wait a bit for the first spray because then the dried product gets pushed out. It works here. And the bottle has probably been sitting here with me completely since autumn or so. I haven't used it so far. There haven't been any insects around. I can just pour everything in right away because we can do it again. Pour it back in with a funnel because this way it gets a bit more difficult. And now you can see how the pump creates this small field even inside here. The air is being pushed in there right now. But you can definitely start spraying now. Yeah, so that's already working. You don't have to wait forever now. But if you want full pressure, you just need to wait a moment. In the meantime, you can just put the next wide wooden bucket or something like that here, and then it starts, but you can actually get started right away here. Look, it even foams up a bit, so you don't actually have to wait for full pressure in the end. So overall, you guys are really quick with this, and you can also see here that because a bit of air is being drawn in, you get a light foam. But the nice thing is, I think you can see more clearly where the product is applied. And you can see here his maximum of 1, 2, 3 lanes, and thus he has already completely nibbled the area. Yeah, We don't have any insects on the side, obviously, folks, but this is just for demonstration purposes for applying and spraying. We can also intensify it a bit more, but you can already see here that too much product is being applied. Look, it's foaming up now. So that would really be too much in the long run. Product wastage, because you're putting on way too much. You can see it's dripping down unnecessarily. When using insect repellents, really tighten it completely for a fine mist. And then just go here once, twice, 3 times, and you're done. So the cleaner works really well. So I was able to pour almost everything back. And now we're of course going to test the topic of rim cleaner again. And I have heard about this from I brought the P21 ones high end from Dr. Wack, which is a bit more gel-like. And here I would just be what to pour into the storage container. We don't have to do everything. We now have 750 million. I have the finest setting. So completely tightened. And here you can also see that it foams up a little bit. I don't know exactly where it's getting the air from, because normally it should be 100% drawn in from the product. Somewhere it seems to still be drawing in a bit of air, but maybe that's intended. And there you also have this slight foam formation included. That would be the finest setting. Yeah, so you can clearly tell, honestly folks, this has nothing to do with a really fine spray pattern anymore. Let's compare it with the spray nozzle. Be quiet now, you grumpy bear. We can compare it with the normal spray pattern. But even the normal spray nozzle sprays very centered, covering an area of about 10-15 centimeters from the distance. So that's clear with these very thick products. That's why I really have to say, compared to the spray nozzle, the distribution here with this part is actually wider. And there's still enough product on it. So it's not like where you can see the metal through here that there's no product on it, but it still runs over here as an even film. So that's fine. I've sprayed way too much on now. I'm going to rinse that off with water right away. And that's why when you use the normal setting, you go around the rim like this, just a little in the background. And that's good because otherwise you'll have way too high a product consumption if you use this with a pressure sprayer. And that really adds up to a lot of money eventually. You can also take this option to dilute it again with water. There's also this 1-to-1 variance. And you definitely have a better spray pattern there. But I really have to say, compared to the spray nozzle, the distribution here is definitely wider. So it definitely makes sense if you have this part at home and want to use it for that. It works. You can definitely go much wider mist, but I haven't found a pressure sprayer yet, even in that area, that can spray such a strong gel formula far and wide. I haven't found that yet. That's why it's completely acceptable. And currently, that's the latest state of affairs. So a very clear conclusion that Außen SYLSTAR does nothing different than the pressure sprayers as we know them also work without electric drive. That means when it comes to pumping up and spraying, the pressure sprayers just can't manage it in terms of overall pressure. To really mist it in a very, very gel-like state, far and wide. But that's something all pressure sprayers have in common. Still, I have to say, even here with this one, for example, or with the Solo, you really have to pump it up well. Did you end up with a good, even distribution? And we also saw a better distribution than if you do it normally with the regular spray nozzle. Anyway, the one that was on here now, even the standard spray nozzles can't mist these very, very thick gel-like products nicely and broadly. Of course, it just has to do with the consistency of the products. But when it comes to spraying insect removers, or even other very liquid products, it definitely works really well. Here with this part as well. And I really have to say, here with the 1800, or we have a total of 1950, if I remember correctly, 1950 in the L core by filling it up completely, and then it's exactly at the limit. And then you turn it on here, and then it takes a few seconds and you can start spraying. So there's no waiting time or anything like that here. Very, very nice thing. And yes, for the money, you can definitely give it a try. If you have any questions about it, just drop them in the comments below. I've included all the links down below for you because that thing was really, I think it was completely sold out on Amazon the very next day. I don't know how much they had in stock. I don't have any contact with them or whoever sells it there. Which dealers? I just saw the thing, tested it, and thought it was really good. And you can also find a few versions here at other retailers who offer this on Amazon. Thank you very much for watching. Now you can decide for yourselves, is this something for you, for your work on the vehicle? It's important to rinse everything out nicely. Don't leave anything in there for ages so that the nozzle, for example, doesn't get clogged. Otherwise the spray will just get worse and worse. And if it gets clogged, just soak the nozzle in water overnight and blow it out a bit with compressed air, in case you haven't used the thing for a few weeks or even months. Because the spray heads, and nozzles just get stuck. It doesn't matter whether it's with a device like this or with a regular spray head. Because of this, maintenance is key. Until next time, you're Sebastian. Hey guys.